I'm sure you can think of moments where eye contact has made you a bit uncomfortable, though it's actually something that not everyone's aware of. On the other hand, I'm sure you can also think of someone who you enjoy making eye contact with, someone that makes you feel just a bit safer. This being said, what role does eye contact play in human communication? In 1977, psychiatrist Mark Cook did an analysis on human behavior in conversation to relate eye contact with the effectiveness of the human communication. He defined human gaze as looking at another person in or between the eyes, and mutual gaze as what's more commonly referred to as eye contact. Cook found that women tend to gaze more at the other's eyes than men, and that both genders' gazing dropped significantly when speaking in relation to when listening. His study showed that of his participants, 75% of listening time was gazing at the speaker, while only 41% of speaking time was in gaze. The average gaze was found to be 3 seconds, and the average mutual gaze was found at only 1.2 seconds. He continued to elaborate on how his findings are not a one size fits all because eye contact and the role it plays is going to drastically differ from individual to individual. This can be based on characteristics such as gender, extrovertedness, mental state, and so many others. For example, Growing into Autism by Sandra Tom Jones is from her personal experience with eye contact as an adult on the autism spectrum. She stresses how an aspect of eye contact may be interpreted very differently between someone with and without autism. It should never be something forced in the first place. She explains that this can lead to unnecessary stress, inauthenticity, and sensory overload for her or many others. Eyes convey so much emotion. For example, when dogs look up at you and show the whites of their eyes, you're automatically like, "Aw." It actually is very similar for humans. Changing the amount of sclera, or the whites of our eyes, can impact what is actually expressed by the eyes. The furrowing of the eyebrows, widening of the eyes, and many other small to large changes across the human eyes can express varieties of emotions. Another study, conducted in 2017 by Daniel Lee and Adam Anderson, connects the complexity of human communication and the roles that eyes play when expressing emotion in conversation. This study shows that while eyes, of course, show joy, sadness, anger, and so on, it also shows many other states. This article has references to the fact that the human face is so extremely complex, but it just adds to my questions. Similarly, Lang wrote about the self recognition of being seen. His approach is drastically different than the past study, but he draws back to the significance of eye contact in communication. He writes that eye contact can be directly associated with many aspects such as self-consciousness, social anxiety, and attraction. Lang considers eye contact the bridge to connection and communication. It truly is the staple principle of interpersonal connection and communication, with expression and coming to mutual understanding in conversation. Eye contact is something that's recognized. He explains that it's engaging, interactive, and the parties are mutually aware of each other when making eye contact. It's interaction similar to physical contact. It has the power to leave people feeling exposed, ashamed, connected, and everything else. This is why eye contact can be so incredibly important. Not only is it the link of communication, but also how things are communicated. Humans are very complex beings. We pick up on social cues, and eye contact plays a big role in that. It can leave someone feeling scrutinized, safe, judged, pretty much any emotion. I'm sure you can think of a time where you made eye contact with someone after something awkward happened or something funny happened, and you almost look at other people to see how they're reacting, to see if you guys are reacting similar. Ruth Davidhizar in 1992 wrote an article relating more to healthcare. She writes about how everyone is going to feel a different level of comfort when it comes to eye contact. There is no normal when it comes to eye contact because everyone comes from a different everything. She notes that depending on the circumstances of an interaction, people need to be aware of how much gaze is okay. Healthcare professionals should be informed on the possible differences that play a role in the comfort of their patient. Because a patient could be in a very vulnerable state or still be traumatized, and eye contact is something that can leave people feeling those ways too, so you don't want to force that upon someone that's not in a good state. I decided to put all this to the test, and I took a survey from a variety of participants here at the University of Minnesota. The results were mostly what I expected, but I will dive into them. The first feature noticed about someone new. 34.3% said that the first characteristic is indeed the eyes. 94.3 participants said that they're aware of how much eye contact they're making in conversation. 34.3% of participants, on average, found that they hold eye contact for about 2 to 3 seconds before breaking it, while 31.4% found that they average 3 to 5 seconds, and shockingly, 25.7% said that they hold their gaze for over 5 seconds. I then asked if they tend to gaze more when listening or when speaking in conversation, and not surprisingly, 60% noted that they make more eye contact when listening versus when speaking in conversation, but 25.7% said the other way around. I also asked if there was an effect in the ability to understand or comprehend information in conversation, and 40% said that they better understand or better listen when making eye contact, while 22.9% found that eye contact is too overwhelming when trying to listen, and 22.9% also found that there is no effect on the comprehension whether making eye contact or not. This is why eye contact is so important. Christian Jarrett wrote about eye contact giving the ability to humans to be able to look into each other's souls. This gaze can be found as creepy, loving, or really anything in between. He cross-references many sources in his article, pulling on facts that there are many things that play a role in the amount of eye contact a person will make. He says it can reflect on a person's intelligence, self-perception, sincerity, or familiarity with the situation or circumstances of the conversation. I just want to thank you very much for watching. I hope this video led to thinking a bit more about eye contact and the role it plays in communication. This was an assignment for one of my college courses, but I greatly enjoyed doing this, and I really learned a lot about eye contact. I hope that I could spread a bit of awareness or knowledge about something that I found very interesting, and thank you again for watching.